Hey sis, the reason why I'm doing this video is to talk about some tools that's basically been given to the enemy, but you're supposed to be able to use. A lot of times we're not prepared for certain things, and I'm telling you about spiritual warfare. A lot of times we're not even prepared for that. And it's the reason why. Because Satan holds the tools that you need to actually conquer and defeat that. So a lot of times you're starting to hear about witchcraft, but you didn't know that there was a certain group called the Holy Wiccan, basically that taught how to defend against that taught how to fight against certain things that was attacking the people, that was demonic and spiritually possessed and dealing with witchcraft and stuff like that. But we always talk, don't learn witchcraft. Okay, yeah, they're correct to a certain degree, because sometimes the enemy will sit up there and teach you these tools only for you to sin against God, only for you to set up there and go through more. A lot of times you're going to find yourself in warfare for these tools, because these are tools that they want. These are tools that they need. So the moment that you start to learn how to use them, they want to go into all-out warfare and want to fight for it. I remember when I was started to learn about technology, and my enemies wanted technology and stuff like that. I had to go into all-out warfare for technology. I had to go into warfare for my education. I had to go into warfare to learn how to speak a different language and stuff like that. It was never easy for me. And I think that's where our people are getting the manipulation of the fact that it's not meant for them, or it's not theirs, or that's not something God wants for you because you had to go into warfare for it. Remind you, everything that is yours, you're going to go into warfare sometimes for. Not all of it all the time, but you have to be prepared to go into warfare for the tools that you need to actually fight off your enemy. And it's not going to be easy. Sometimes you're going into warfare in a daze. I'm in a daze, but you can't have my praise. I'm in a daze. I'm not sober. I'm not where I'm supposed to be anymore. But at the same time, I'm just going to sit up here and I'm going to do it because I know it's something that's needed. I know it's something that my people need. I know it's something that I need to have. I know that it's something that's going to prosper us at some point or another as people of God. So what I'm going to tell you guys is this. Stop letting people tell you what you can't have, because everybody knows it's not what you know, it's what you do with what you know. Now, you can use whatever for good or evil. Remind you, I like I told you, the same way these people cured blindness, right? But the same thing that they cured blindness with, they used it against another group to blind them. So you have to understand that it's how you use the tools that's given to you that's going to determine whether ultimately you're doing it for God or you're doing it for something else that isn't of God. So you have to make those decisions on what you're going to do with your life, how you're going to prosper yourself, how you're going to expand yourself with what God has blessed you with what tools are available. Do not deny anything because it comes in a package that isn't acceptable to the church. When I say that, I'm not telling you to go and find prostitutes and marry off to prostitutes. I'm not telling you to go and do anything like extremist or something like that, because that's a little extremist to me. But what I will say to you is this: use your head more than anything else, and do not deny tools that is for you. Sometimes you got to go into the enemy territory to get back tools, to get back some things that belong to you. If the covenant is sitting up there in an enemy village, we got to sneak in that enemy village and get back the covenant. We're not going to play about that. So know that this is the same thing in life with some of the tools that these people are trying to take from you. Some of the tools that they're using against you. They're in the church doing witchcraft, but nobody in the church know how to do witchcraft. You in the church going into all-out warfare with witchcraft, but guess what? We don't have not one member that can counterattack it because they didn't learn the tools. Not knowing that, okay, these are holy tools depending on how I use them. So learn what you're supposed to learn. Stop letting these people lie to you, because they want to take on certain stuff and have you shown it, because you're trying to be holy and you're trying to be righteous, and you need these tools to carry forth, and you need these tools to carry on, and you need these tools to do what you have to do. No, we don't want to hear no evil. We don't want to see no evil. We don't want to be partakers of evil. But at the same time, I know I'm going to stumble upon it where I'm going to see it. I know that I'm going to stumble upon it where I'm going to hear it. I know that I have to sit up there and I have to be prepared for what these people are out here doing when it comes to prostitution, all this different stuff. We have to actually train our people. Okay, how do you think the enemy's trying to get your daughter into prostitution? She wasn't trained for that. She was trained for the ministry. But when we were training her for the ministry, we had to prepare her. And what we did not prepare her for is men trying to take advantage of her, women trying to take advantage of her, people trying to take advantage of her because of the calling that's over her life. We didn't prepare our daughters and tell our daughters, look, it is better not to date. We read it to them. Yeah, we read Apostle Paul to them, but we didn't tell them why. Let me go ahead and manifest to you why it's not good to date. Because first of all, you have another person connect to you. If this person is in all-out chaos, that means that y'all are one, and that means that you're going to be in all-out chaos no matter how much you serve God. It's going to be one pulling against the other. There will never be balance there. So you're unequally yoked, so you're unbalanced, and stuff like that, and anything can come in. And even when you're balanced, you're still having a conflict because God's taking you to another level and your partner's at the same level, because they can't go into the levels that you're going into. And you're in the ministry, they're in the ministry, they go to church every Sunday, but at the same time, you're the only one growing. So it's purpose behind us educating our children. But nowadays in the church, we're sitting up there, we're teaching our children to be pacified and stuff like that. I cannot tell you, the other day, my son showed to me, he's staying with my mother and my daughter, and he showed to me that he's dependent. Not independent, but dependent. He's dependent on them to do everything for him. He's dependent on them to clean for him. He's dependent on them to take care of him. He's dependent on them for everything. And he could never be a man that way. So I had to get on him. I was like, hold up, first of all, your sister's not going to be ironing your clothes. Your grandma's not going to be ironing your clothes. You're going to take the initiative to iron your clothes. You're going to take the initiative to pitch in around her. See, because what I'm starting to learn is that we handicap our men at a young age, and then we wondering why they're not men when they're adults. First of all, you have to sit up there and you have to first teach them responsibility. So they're squaring away from responsibility because they never had to worry about responsibility, because it was always a group of women that take responsibility for them. So now they thinking they're lions and stuff like that, and we are lioness, and we supposed to do everything for them. No, you better get out there with that mane and get independent. They taught certain stuff, and we have to sit up there and we have to teach them independence, because guess what? God forbids if they're left alone, where they can only depend on themselves. God forbid. Because in that time, either that's going to be their make or breaker time, and they have to be prepared for that. They have to be prepared. They want to be the king. Well, tell you what, it's okay for you to want to be the king, but you're going to king right. Because I need you to know that a king goes through many things. A king sits up there and has to fight off all kinds of evil. Did you not hear the story where they had to sit up there and pipe, like actually play a flute to keep an evil spirit off a king? They constantly playing it so the king wouldn't get possessed by an evil spirit. Because first of all, we know that through pharaohs, through kings, through people that send up there in high positions, demonic possession actually takes place. And they need the support, they need the help, they need people backing them up. That's for God to remove some of that mess off of them. But anyway, like I said, you guys, please start learning some of this stuff. The enemy is using witchcraft. They're using all these different tools. You need to learn it, because they're coming into the church. They're coming into the house of the Lord with tools of warfare. And if you're not prepared and if you don't know it, you will be destroyed. May God bless you guys. Hopefully these words encourage you.